Let's see. All right, here we are. We are live. Let me go ahead and hit this real quick. Welcome, everybody. TJ McCormack, world's greatest roofer, here today on all the live broadcasts with Christopher Scoville from Blue Pages Pro. Excited to get chatting with him today, talk about our upcoming event in Fort Lauderdale, Houston, San Diego, Seattle, Atlanta, and Minneapolis, the Rise 2023 show. Welcome, Chris.
Worldwide, baby.
Act like you know.
Let's go to Japan.
Let's go.
Hey, we should go to Canada.
We're actually talking about going to Canada. I've heard a little bird. I know that Richie said that he would like to have us go to Canada. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But welcome everybody to this live today, and want to talk with Chris and get to know Chris a little better. You guys see Chris all the time. He's always doing a live, always providing value to our industry, always teaching some portion of this industry that we all need to know a little bit more. So Chris, I'm gonna start off by telling everybody, tell us a little bit about you. What's your company name? What's your role? What are you doing out there?
Awesome, cool. Well, we have reduced minutes, so I don't want to get into the longevity of it all, but we'll do the Reader's Digest version. For anybody out there that hasn't met me yet, my name is Christopher Scoville on the Facebook. Been in the industry for a really long time, like in the financing side of contracting world for 26 years. Did my first custom home with my dad in high school at 17. Started roofing at 19, doing tie beams down here in Florida. Got into the finance side very soon after that. But I'm the CEO and founder of Blue Pages Pro. And to give you the Reader's Digest version on that, we help consumers connect with contractors and just make the dream come true. Help contractors connect, convert, close those deals. Integrate this little thing behind me over there. Integrate a bunch of really, really cool financing technology, and also the roof estimate tool. Yeah,
our instant estimator tool. I mean, it's great. And I know that you work together with many other companies, but thank you so much for being that partner with us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We love it. I love how that it iframes and opens up actually in the tool, which is so sweet. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go check out the tool.
So besides work, man, let's keep work-life balance into what we talk about here. What's Chris like to do when he's not talking about Blue Pages Pro to the whole world, man?
Hold on, let me see if my wife's here. All he talks about now, man. I'm like, I'm 52, so I hang out at the house. I'm down here in South Florida, loving life. We've got a pool. I've got a gym in my garage. I've got my two dogs in here, Bailey and Bella, on the floor. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm a bit of a homebody. I do the same thing. I get up and work out in the morning. I read. I do a little praying to God in the morning. I work on the house on the weekend. I'm a homebody, and then I'm an absolute geek. Like, I've been building this freaking software company for 4 years. I just love the industry, man. But I like good food, and I like chilling out down here in Florida and hanging out with my wife and my dogs.
Every time I go to Florida, I know Richie hates to get my bill for when I go out to dinner, man. I love to eat, and that seafood down there in South Florida just gets me every time.
Yeah, I'm on the Intercoastal, so I can go out here and literally 250 yards down there be in the Intercoastal, and then go another 250 yards, I'll be on the beach. So
that's great, man.
It is.
With what's going on in the world today, tell us how Blue Pages is helping the industry, if you can, just for real quick.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't want to get into like the long of it, but here's the bottom line. Look, contractors and consumers need to connect, right? And there was a whole bunch of lead aggregating things out there that exist. And I think contractors got, and of course, because I know the industry so well, I was like, geez, what could I create that could help solve a big problem? So instead of like contractors buying third-party leads, right, from lead aggregators, our goal and our mission is to really help contractors build their own tools and then connect, convert, and close off of that. And that's really what the foundational tool of a Blue Page is. It's a way to help the consumer move through this thing, and then the different sales tools that we have on that to connect directly to the contractor. So we can actually help the contractor build their own system so they don't have to buy third-party non-validated leads anymore. By the time we're done with them, they've got a nice foundation, and we've linked it up to their website. We've got all the analytic things going, and then we can drive traffic back to their Blue Page to help them connect with those people that are in their local market that need their services. So that was, and then of course, financing is massive. Like, dude,
yeah, of course.
I had to build that baby in there, right?
Yeah. So. Financing is something that a lot of I came from the storm chasing world, as you know, and we never learned the financing model.
You are now.
Everybody was so used to getting that Xactimate and not worrying about where the money was going to come from. Now I think that people are starting to open their eyes with all the legislation that's coming out of Louisiana and Florida. That's going to change the way that we do business across the world. Yeah,
it is. Matter of fact, we've seen an uptick in the last 3 years. It's just massive. I mean, look, the deductibles are nasty, and contractors aren't buying those things, right? So you can use financing to finance just the deductible portion of it and keep your business where it's supposed to be, what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, right? So it's super important to use leverage, use lenders, make it affordable, make it painless. It's so easy now to make it happen. Oh, and it's easy now to teach contractors and roofers that have been pushing away from it. It's easy to teach them how to actually provide it now. And that's the big thing, is like roofers for so long, and this coming from the storm world, they were like, man, I don't want to offer financing. I'm not a bank. No, dude, you're a professional salesperson that shows up and gives them a way to, afford something. And then we teach them how to do that. So it's pretty cool.
Man, and that's all I needed. I worked hard last year with several other people in our industry to try to bring that model to our industry. Of course, every time I meet somebody new that says, "Oh, we're not really doing any financing yet," I'm like, "Hey, you got to talk to Scoville. You got to talk to Ben Barrick or whoever. The Good Leaps of the world or the Square Dashes of the world." All of these people that are involved in the finance model every day. Tell me a book that you're reading right now that could be helpful for others, or something that you maybe finished in the recent past.
Sure. Just last week I finished. This is my second time reading it. The E-Myth Revisited.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you the application and why it was just so timely. Launching my software. Well, we've been building a software company for a couple of years, but we officially launched the membership portal today. It was really exciting that I'm actually doing this on the day that we actually launched our hub. Right. The timing is perfect. But here's how the book helped me. It's E-Myth Revisited. It's an older book. It's been revised numerous times. I'm a small company, but I know where I want to go. I built a company with an exit strategy in mind. Okay. When you build a company, now this could go for roofers and window people and air conditioning. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. When you build an entity, there's a lot of slots that you don't have people for.
Right.
But those slots are super important in business. You still have to do the tasks that are in the slots. So, dude, reading this book this time hit me in the feels so much. Dude, I ran to the computer and I built our ops manual. I built an ops manual that is 176 pages based on the E-Myth of the positions that I haven't hired for.
Wow.
So it's future state, 5 years, of who we're going to have in what seat, down to when we hire a new employee, knowing what they like to drink and what their favorite candy bar is that's sitting at their desk when they show up. Very much how you guys do it at Roofer, right? You got to, you know who you're hiring, you know what they like. Like, I went through that book and I hit this computer for hours. I mean, I'm talking like, it had to be like 36 or 37 hours, and just started typing, man. So if you haven't read the E-Myth Revisited, get on that book. It'll help your business. It'll develop the systems and processes that you need to have in place to help your business scale and grow, for sure.
You know, that's so true. Richie is so forward thinking in that we were actually, you know, Richie's on vacation this week. And if anybody doesn't know, we're talking about Richie. Richard Nelson is our CEO here.
Hold on, I'm going to call him.
No, he's on vacation. Leave him alone. He's having a good time.
Dude, he'll pick up. No,
I know he will. I know he will. And that's the thing. We need him to relax and have a good week off. But no, Richie's so forward thinking in that. And even in our meetings on Mondays, you know, we have our new hires start, and it's so cool to see the amount of people all over the world that we're hiring, from the Ukraine to Japan to Philippines, to India. Like we have people everywhere representing a country and being a part of that growth. And like you're saying, knowing the kind of drink that they like or the kind of candy bar that they like, all the way down to that is the way that culture grows.
I mean, dude, it's like your first day.
Right.
And that you imagine walking in, they're nervous, they got a new job, they don't know anything, there's new people. In the moment that they come in there and go, how did you know? That's my comfort zone. How did you know I like those two things? Well, of course I know, because when I hired you, I did an intake form that asked you these really weird questions. And then you implement that in your business to make your employees love you and fall in love with you from day one, man. Makes a world of difference.
You know, I never thought, you know, I'm not here to talk about Roofer today, but, you know, starting off our first week at Roofer, and not a lot of people know this, but we get a paid week off where we collect a paycheck before the first day that we start. Yeah. So we go to work on Monday already having a paycheck in our bank account. And that's it. There's nothing like that out there. I've never been to a job where they paid me before I even started.
It's that sets, and this isn't just talking about Roofer. Yeah. If you're not looking at your business and setting yourself up as a differentiator in your marketplace, then you're just like everyone else.
Yep. You're just like everybody else. And you know what? I'm not saying that we're the baddest or the greatest out there, but we're doing everything that we can to make sure people are happy. That's for sure.
True, man. True. Love it.
You know, tell me, I know who I look up into in this world and where I've come from and on the come ups. Who's somebody that you look up to, either in this industry or just in general? Who do you look up to?
I think I've got a few mentors. And, you know, it's interesting. Each year I kind of take inventory of who am I gonna study from this year? Who do I want to learn? Is there a specific thing in business that I want to learn? Or are you actually just talking about life in general? You talking about business or life?
Well, hey, let's talk about, you know, since we're talking about business, let's talk about business.
Cool. Let's talk about business, because I've got different buckets. I handle this way differently than most, probably.
Sure.
So this year I knew exactly what I was going to do and what I needed to concentrate on. And with that being said, I wanted to get to a closer relationship with Jesus Christ himself. Sure. But I also want to learn business in the way. So I joined Arete. So my two business mentors and motivators would be Ed Milet and Andy Frisilla in that bucket. Now on the sales and the business strategic side, of course, Alex Hormozy is somebody that I'm drinking his Kool-Aid. And when I say I'm drinking his Kool-Aid, I'll listen to his 1.5 hour podcast that he did up on stage over and over and over until I dissect exactly what I can take out of that to implement in my strategies. Because the only way that we can ever really learn is by stepping outside of the industry that we're in, going over to another industry, and then bringing it back in. Jay Abraham talked about that a lot, and probably still talks about it a lot, is if you want a fresh perspective in your business, this goes for roofers or whatever industry and asset class you're in, step out of your box. Don't look at your competitors. Don't look at your fellow roofers. Don't copy what they're doing, because they're already making other moves to do something differently. Step out. Go look at air conditioning companies and look at what offers and promotions and what financing options are working for them. And take what you can from another asset class and then inject that into your roofing business to be a differential. Skate over and over. Don't be like everybody else. Be memorable, right?
Somebody I've been watching a lot lately is Victor Rancour, and I think you know Victor as well.
Yeah, we're good friends.
You know, Profit Rocket is something amazing out there in the sales cycle. And you know, I've been watching those other industries to see how they're using their marketing strategies to go after those contractors, and they're winning.
I spoke at his first Profit Rocket with Grant Cardone at Caesar's Palace a couple years ago, dude. I was on the same stage with Uncle G, baby.
Speaking of Uncle G, I didn't start growing my own self. We're talking about 10X here. We're talking about Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone, I went and saw him in 2020. World's Greatest Roofer was born in 2020 after I saw Cardone. So
is it down in Miami?
No, it was in Las Vegas. It was right before COVID happened.
Okay, cool. I saw him in Miami at the 10X when he did the pair. Well, maybe he did. Maybe
I think that was a year before for sure.
Bro, hold on. Let me break the fourth wall. Bro.
Yeah.
This is super important.
All right.
When I was at 10X in Miami, I saw these people speaking on stage and I was like,
yeah, I
can do this. So I went out for lunch. And we're getting a bad reflection. I went out for lunch and I had an iced tea and I took the bar nap and I flipped it upside down and I wrote my business plan for Blue Pages Pro.
The original whiteboard.
Dude, I took a bar nap and wrote my business plan out for Blue Pages Pro. And now as I sit here with 18,000 contractors on my platform, you don't need to have a real business plan. You just have to have a really good idea.
You have to have a great idea. That's for sure, man.
No, and then you got to work your ass off and make it happen.
Alex Hormozy, I've been watching him quite a bit lately, and I really like his stuff, both geared towards construction, but also geared towards marketing. He's really killing the shorts game. This leads me into my next question: is what kind of business or what kind of marketing is Blue Pages doing, or what are you suggesting to other roofing company owners out there now on their marketing strategy?
So two different worlds, right? Because we're not launching Blue Pages to consumers. We're now in conversion mode of all the people that are on the base. We're bringing the value to them to get them up to Pro Light and integrating financing. So my stuff is all direct. I do a ton of education. My strategy is to connect with with contractors, educate them, and then show them the value. So I market through educating and then helping them grow their business by adding financing. And then they fall in love with the idea like, wow, this thing works. Yeah. And then I give them an irresistible offer with a 100% money back guarantee after 365 days, show them that they've got nothing to lose and they'd be idiots for not doing this. And then they just buy. So I'm totally different, the wrong guy. On the roofing side of the world, when we consult with people, because I've got a marketing division that helps drive traffic back to the Blue Pages, we're going in all in heavy where everyone else is zigging, we're zagging. We're going in the local markets and geofencing and hitting. I'm going in the Truman bubble effect where we're taking 33441 and we're going to own it. And then we reverse engineer the geofencing to social media and Google and all that stuff. So we've taken a different approach of direct marketing, guerrilla marketing, QR codes on the door, and some other systems to get them back to their Blue Page. But then we'll take it, pixel it, and then get them back on the socials to start chasing them all over the place.
One of the things that at Rise that I hope to drive home is the organic social media growth that most companies can have right now. There are some people out there that are trying to dissuade people from using that organic social growth, but there are also some really great people out there that are pushing it. Where I think that businesses that are spending 10% currently in their marketing spend could spend half of that, or less than half of that with organic social media as their play versus what they might be doing now.
Do you know how much Blue Pages has spent on ads in the last 2 years?
Probably zero.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know why?
Word of mouth.
Do you know why I haven't spent any? I don't have the money, dude.
Oh, right. Exactly.
So I had to grow this thing to, wherever 17,900 members right now by just freaking doing a good job and getting the word out, man. Like, we didn't have any money to spend on ads. So all I had was what I had.
Yep. That's exactly why my strategy became organic only, because I didn't have the money to grow myself on social media. I didn't have money to put myself into ads, right? Or ad spend when a storm happened in Colorado here. So when I started making that organic social reach where I was reaching 1 million people before lunch, and saying, hey, can I come out and get on your roofing system? And hundreds, if not thousands of people were saying yes. It made me realize that we were doing marketing all wrong pre-2020 versus now.
Yeah.
And I you know, respectfully, I call certain marketers pre-2020 marketers, and there's the new age of where we are, where we're talking about this organic growth that the pre-2020 marketers don't want you to hear about.
Yeah. We can go a little longer on this, can we? Yeah. Can we go longer?
Yeah, let's go a little longer.
So, and this is good. This is going to be kind of tie this into marketing and just growing business in general.
Yep.
Like I'm doing a home improvement project, right? So I did a new air conditioner a couple years ago. I learned a lot of lessons from that, and I took it and I taught a bunch of people what I learned buying a new air conditioner. Except now I'm going through a major remodel. I'm doing a full kitchen blowout and a new floor in my house. And I got a whole bunch of quotes. I've learned so much from getting people to come and give me bids that material, you want to talk about material for days. Yeah. I've got material for years just by getting 6 or 7 different quotes. I've watched these guys not follow up, not give me a presentation, not offer financing, just completely bastardize the sales process, guys. I've learned so much on that. Now I'm taking that information, I'm taking it to my private contractor group, and I'm sharing what I'm learning to help all these other contractors do it better. Like this dude pulled up in my driveway in a van with receipts and cigarettes and coffee like containers all over the top of his thing. His van was dirty. He was smoking a cigarette. He came into my house with cigarettes all over him.
Wow.
He should have parked in the street. He should have put his booties on. He should have put the roll the red carpet. He should have cleaned up your van. Like it's the simple stuff that will help contractors grow is by thinking about how you would buy from somebody. Reverse engineer the buying process, put yourself in your customer's shoes, and then show up at the house like you're buying what you're selling. Right. That'll fix your business day one.
That's the education that I'm talking about. Like a lot of times that even still that we forget to go back and teach new roofers and new roofing salespeople often is the basics of, you know, when I first started at, I'm not going to say the roofing company name because I'm not going to bring them up right now. But when I started at this one roofing company, they taught you how to park your car or your truck at the end of the driveway, leaving 7 feet from the mailbox, making sure that you weren't walking through the grass with your ladder, right? Yep. Like the little things that, you know, homeowners like me and you, like, we're like, please don't walk on my dang grass, right? Right. Or the you know what I'm talking about.
No, dude, the Amazon guy did that the other day. He came walking through I go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That grass is, I live in Florida. You have to buy grass down here.
It's those things that homeowners just they take into consideration when they're considering your proposal. And if you ever get to the proposal stage.
No, I'm GCing the thing myself.
Right.
I'm doing it myself. I'm hiring subs.
No, you know what? If you can figure it out on your own, and you know how to price the stuff out on your own, and
already did.
Nobody's willing to give you the right price. You know, we were talking about that the other day, or not the other day, a couple of months ago. I was talking about the instant estimator tool, especially in Florida. Less than 10% of roofers are actually providing a homeowner an actual estimate for their roof. When 100% of the time they're supposed to be providing an estimate, but they can't seem to just know that the instant estimator is there for them, right?
The instant estimator's right here.
Yeah.
There's your video telling people if you want an estimate on your roof, click the blue button.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Roofers, listen, it ain't rocket science. Do a video. TJ will show you how. Hey, we're in your area helping people with the roofs. If you'd like an instant quote or estimate, click that blue button. And
yeah, that, you know, like I say it like this: whenever I'm going out to a grocery store myself or a restaurant, people who've eaten with me before know that I always ask the server if they follow me on social media, and the first thing they say is, well, why do they ask you if they follow you? And I say, because 1, I want them to be a new subscriber or a new follower, but 2, I'm also going to sell them something, because once they hear, oh, social media, they don't know that I have 300,000 followers. They just think social media. And then 2, I'm gonna be like, wow, when you do realize who I am, you should check out this instant estimator and find out how much your roof is. And that doesn't have to necessarily be me. It can be Chris Scoville. It can be Jordan Harrison. It could be Josh Sullivan in the comments there. It could be any one of you guys, in just a simple new way to sell. Or providing the documentation that you need for legislation in Florida to be right by your homeowners or your potential new clients.
Hey, we all know somebody that has a roof over their head, right?
Every single one. Well, hopefully all of us, but there are some great. But hey, 2.3 billion of us in the world have a roof.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Richie's watching us right now.
Oh, is he watching? Well, hello, Richie. If you see us right now, I'm glad that you get to see our conversation. Let me go on to this one. Are you finding it harder, or are you finding it that it's harder for salespeople out there right now with the way the economy is at the moment to make sales?
No.
Yeah.
No, economy is a state of mind. I don't give a look. I know financing. I've been doing this 26 years. I turned the news off 2 months ago, and it's improved my life exponentially.
Sure.
The economy is never good. What do you mean? Well, even when things are good, they're still not good. Why? Well, because when you're making a ton of money, everything's good, you still want to buy stuff, right? Yeah. Right. Like, who cares what the economy is? You know why? Because if it crashes, we'll all go figure out what hot dogs we have to sell because everybody has to eat. Yep. Who cares? Who cares? If it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Show up and do the work. Put the work in, knock on the doors, market your businesses, and go sell something.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the TV off.
Right.
Go be nice to somebody.
Do you think that the market conditions are an objection of salespeople to get out of their truck?
I think the market objections are the greatest excuse in the world.
Yep.
And you know what I had to do for the last 2 years?
What's that?
I had to hop online and try to talk about it. Do you know why? Because it's what I had to do when I worked in my last job. I don't have to do that anymore. I could just get on and tell people the truth. Turn the TV off and go to work.
Turn off social media.
Turn the TV off.
Turn off social media.
Turn the TV off and go sell something. Yeah. If you're not selling enough roofs, then go sell bananas after you're done selling roofs. I don't care. Just don't make excuses.
Yeah. What you were just saying earlier, if roofing ever became something that I couldn't do, I wouldn't be the world's greatest roofer anymore, but I would be the world's greatest hot dog salesperson because I would have to find some way to make money.
That's because there's people that just do the work and there's people that make excuses.
Right. Exactly.
There's a ton of things out there that people can sell at home when they come home from work at night from their computer if they have the ability to just care. All you have to do is care and solve someone's problem. You go find a way to make money.
When I was running sales teams, this is going to lead into the next thing. When I was running sales teams, one of the things that I like to do once a week was to bring in an expert across the industry, whether it be a public adjuster, a lawyer, a roofing expert, somebody from a manufacturer. Tell me how you think that roofing companies should be educating their teams now of salespeople, but not just salespeople, their entire teams, because I feel like a lot of roofing companies might educate the sales team, but they're not educating the production team. They're not educating the back end team of the collections portion or closeouts or whatever. What should they be educating on?
I think if I looked at it from 30,000 feet, you look at an organization, I think that everybody should have mutual respect for each other's divisions that cohesively work together. Wow, that was a long sentence, but here's my point.
Cohesively.
Yeah. Sales is over here. Operations over here. Processing is over here. We got all these silos inside of a business. And if we didn't get the leads, you wouldn't get the sales. And operations is like, well, if we didn't get this thing to the closing and set up the bid, like everyone has to work within a collaborative. So I think that as a company owner should probably step out of the box and look at a cohesive collaboration training where you actually bring division heads in and say, what problems are you facing? How are you solving for it? Because maybe there's somebody in the sales that can go, oh, hey, how about this idea? Right. Working in an organization that's in silos and nobody can have an opinion over here when somebody could solve it maybe from the operations side is really bad business. Didn't you guys just have a thing where people got together and you guys whiteboarded ideas and all worked together to solve problems? If businesses don't do that, then they're setting themselves up to fail because they're never introducing and injecting new ideas in for growth.
And a lot of times it's the greed let me rephrase that. A lot of times there are business owners who have their hands on the leashes so tight that they don't allow for new and innovative ideas coming from their own team. Now, with our team, like what you're talking about, we put together all 9 of our marketing team together into one space so that with our growth, as us being a startup and going from startup into full business, that we want to make sure that we're hitting and crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's, and then also being innovative in our own space where we're teaching people to be more innovative.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing sometimes is considered 10 years ahead of what people really want or what they understand. There's one of the questions that came up the other day is how are we marketing to the people who are getting ready to retire and their 20-something-year-old son is about to take over their roofing company.
Wow.
And that's because now, you have the 60-something-year-old guys that are getting out of the game that never used anything more than a Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
And now
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did. Yellow Pages, Blue Pages. I see what you did, TJ.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is that, how are we making the industry go ahead versus just staying where we are?
Yeah. Innovation, baby. Innovation. You've seen a lot of innovation this year with AI coming in, right?
Yes, I have. You've seen my posts about it. Yeah, I'm questioning the AI as in authenticity, especially in regards to social media, because like a lot of the things that AI says, I couldn't think of those responses.
Ready?
Yeah.
AI is the new hot chick in high school.
Everybody wants it.
Oh my gosh, AI. Look at all the marketing gurus. They're all selling AI now. Look, here's the bottom line. People do business with people that they know, like, trust, and remember.
Yep.
And the humanistic approach to authenticity and vulnerability will trump any technology that ever exists in the world. Because in the world of home improvements, it is a still touch game. You can't go on and buy a lot of the things that are out there that need to go in your home. And homeowners buy through emotion because their home is where their heart is, and is where their family is where their dogs is where they protect it. The home is not a commodity.
Right.
Buying something off of a shelf and having it delivered in a blue truck is a commodity.
Yep.
Home improvement still requires a humanistic, authentic, vulnerable touch, which is what all these professional salespeople that are listening to us right now need to understand when they're doing a pitch and a demo and an estimate. There's a humanistic approach that still will never be trumped from AI. Ever.
That's a great point. Something that I always say is people buy from people. They won't, they'll buy it from a computer, but they had to hear it from a person. And then I also say be an influencer, not an infomercial, because people want to be influenced instead of sold. True. So make sure that you're doing that. But that's great. What's one piece of technology that you have implemented or that you suggest to people? It doesn't have to be roofer, right? We know our tools, but what's a great tool that's out there right now for roofers that they can implement today?
Let me just sum it up in an idea, and then think about the tools that are underneath it. I believe that the best technology that you're using, either from your website or your landing page, like a Blue Page, or even at the demo, would be show, tell, and sell. Now, let me explain. All right. On the Blue Page, there, you can't see it. It's at the bottom, but there's Project Map It, and then there's Company Cam Showcase Galleries. So stay with me on this. Show, tell, and sell is when you show up to the appointment, you actually show them the work and you tell them the stories of what you've installed. Instead of just showing a static 4 or 5-star review or a static testimonial, take them to your tool and flop through and tell the story. Oh, I got to share this story with you. We, over here at 256 Maryland Street, we showed up and this guy had this cabin that we turned into a home. You got to show you the cabin. Can I show you the cabin? And the consumers are like, show me the cabin. And now they're like invested in they're leaning in and they're body posturing over the top of you. And you're on your Blue Page or you're on your tool and you're scanning through and you're going, oh my God. And when we got to this spot is when the dog bit my leg. And by the end of it, you've showed them that you've showed up, you sold a job, you turned a cabin into a beautiful home on the lake. You got bit by a dog. They know you. They're laughing. You're telling the story. Your credibility of show, tell, and sell by using technology will land you jobs that before you're just like, and here's our list of our Google 4 and 5-star reviews. And here's a testimony.
Yep.
And just like deer in the headlights, like, do you believe me?
Yeah. It's
like buying reviews and buying likes. Really? You really have 18,000 people that follow you, dude? Your dog doesn't even like you online, bro.
Right.
Stop lying.
And you know what? Every expert out there that deals in social media are saying right now that people need to tell a story in business in order to make a sell. And what you're saying right now, show, tell, sell. Like that's exactly what you're doing. You're creating a story online for the social media world. So I
Stories
wanted to just throw that in there. You know, sorry for
no, dude, it's true.
but
Stories stick.
yeah, stories
It
stick.
doesn't matter what your story is.
Yeah.
People remember stories. They don't remember features and benefits.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, they remember the story that you tell them, or they're going to save it or favorite it because they're going to want to tell your story for you again. You know, and that's great. But tell me something. How much do you think technology has changed or is changing our industry, and where should people continue to wait to jump on board some of these trains, or should they go full in? You know, where should they be?
Technology is freaking awesome. It's just making us more efficient if we use it properly.
Yeah.
Or if we don't use it properly, we can let it distract us, right?
Right.
You gotta, I just turn it around because there's a bunch of tools on that, right? Like you have to use the proper ones, but don't use them all. Like if you're using all of them and you're completely confusing your customer in the process of whatever technology, you still have to do the basic stuff, but use technology to keep your systems and processes more efficient. Don't use technology just because technology exists. You got to use it with purpose, right? Have a reason why you're using the XYZ Dominator.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. You can't. I've been telling people this, you know, like technology is only going to continue to improve, and wherever you are right now, if you're not following it, you're going to be that much more lost when it does come time for you to jump on the technology train. So even if you're not doing it right now, you should.
What's your favorite piece of technology right now?
My favorite piece of technology is definitely all things YouTube. And I'll tell you,
dude, I blew my YouTube up.
Yeah,
I have like 178 instructional training videos on it right now.
You know, I've recently found that it's been easier for me to grow roofers YouTube utilizing the Shorts platform. But also, you know, we don't just post shorts. We post master classes. We post other things on our YouTube as well. And you guys should be doing it as well, right? The thing that I love most about it is the organic growth that I've maintained on it, but then the ability to sell directly from that platform, educate, and be a positive influence to what this industry needs. Like the whole reason that World's Greatest Roofer formed was because I saw a need for positive change on social media versus what we were doing, which was putting us out there as thieves, liars, you know, murderers, rapists, all of the things that roofers get known for. And I really like the gateway or the segue to the world through social. But no, what's next for Blue Pages?
We have such a solid plan.
Yeah.
And I'm just executing the plan. That's it. Yeah. I mean, you're all going to see. My goal is just to help people connect.
Yeah.
Help contractors make money, improve their margins, improve their P&L, and have a lot of fun doing it. More importantly, I want to bring them into my platform, educate them and nurture them so they never, ever, ever leave.
Right. You know what? That people never leave once they find value in you, right? But also, you know, we're coming to Fort Lauderdale in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna be there.
If you're in, you know what? That's why I have Chris on here. Chris is going to lead our discussion on the pulse of the industry. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And you want to make sure that you're catching everybody else. Liz Calzadilla will be there. River Tunnel, John Bros.
John's coming?
Yeah, John's speaking.
Corey Combs?
Yeah, Corey Combs is coming. And then also, I have a firework coming too that not a lot of people know about. Her name is Jamie Yoshida from Aspen Contracting out of Southwest Florida. And Jamie's come up with a really badass sales system that's helping her and many others in that market.
Is she working Ian?
Yeah, she's working Ian down there.
Dude, I can't wait to talk to her because that's turned into a retail storm.
Yeah, and you know what? And she's not just her, but you, John, Corey, River, all of you guys are
dude. Listen, and this is a commercial.
Yeah.
Here's a call to action. Even if you're not in Florida, you need to come to Florida because the people that are going to be in that room can change your lives.
Yep. I just can't wait. Like
Yes.
there's I don't want to say star-studded because that sounds not humble, right? But there's going to be a bunch of great people there.
Yeah, I love you guys, man.
Yeah,
The roofer, I call Richie all the time. I call Richie the other night at like 10:30 at night. I asked him for some advice because he built a pretty successful software company. I'm in the process of doing the same, so I really lean on him as a mentor. And I told him, I said, dude, what I love most about the things that I emulate to be is the culture that you've built for your company. And I'm sure he started crying when I said that. Yeah. But really, and there's cult within culture, and I always kind of I make those capital letters when I talk about Roofar. You guys have always done such a fantastic job at hiring the right people, developing the culture, and just really helping people. So I admire you guys, and I thank you for having me here today too. By the way,
you know what? That'd be a great way to go to a closing. I want to hear one piece of advice or a word of wisdom from you that you can give us all right now to maybe that we need to hear.
Find out why you do it. And the people, I'm just talking about the why. Yeah. Find out why you do what you do, and find out why you like to help people, and really think about that on your drive home tonight. Why are you doing what you do? Why are you helping people? Do you really like it? Because listen, if you're in the roofing industry and you hate this job and you don't know what your why is, and if you don't like helping people, get out.
Yeah.
There's lots of other things out there you can go do. Number one, it's not to be selfish. Number two, you deserve it. And you have one chance at life down here, and it's really short. In a blink of an eye, it could be over. So go do something that you're happy doing. But if you do love the contracting industry, be better, do better. Figure out really, why do you wake up in the morning and go and do what you do? And when you are standing in front of somebody, are you doing it for the money? Are you really doing it because you want to help somebody? And the byproduct is you make a great living because of it.
Yep. We have a responsibility as roofing, as a roofing industry as a whole, to make sure that consumers think that we're doing the best that we can at our job. And we're not just showing up for that. What you're talking about.
Also, and I'm going to add, and I'm not trumping you on this. We have a responsibility in life as human beings right now to do better, to love what we do, because we deserve the right to love what we do. So if you're stuck doing something that you hate and it gives you anxiety and you've got stress and it's killing you and it's killing your family, go do something else.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff to do out there.
Yeah. And well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. We, as the roofer team, are so lucky to have you on our side, and we look forward to being in Fort Lauderdale with you. Specifically how Mao and Clarissa and everybody's just so on point with making sure that all of this goes like it's supposed to. I'm just like, I'm going to show up that day. Maybe I'll push some chairs. I know Mao's like, no. We're going to be there at 7:04. We're going to do this, and this. Like, thank God for that team, our team here at Roofer, because they keep me straight. And then also they're going to make this event so great for everybody else. We got some cool swag. We're going to have some great speakers. We're going to give everybody lunch. We're going to do a happy hour. And you know what? We're just going to enjoy the fellowship of having one another, which is what makes these events so great. So thank you for coming in today, Chris. Looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks. And if you guys see me out tomorrow, I'll be out in North Carolina. Looking forward to seeing everybody. And then the rest of the week, I'll be doing these lives with other speakers like Silveria Garcia, Jamie Yoshida, some other great people, David Taggart. We put together, like I said, a star-studded group of people that really are going to bring the heat and education. Cool. So love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and hold on one second, Chris, and then we'll see everybody soon.